Okay, so if you didn't see it before the weekend, there was the press conference where the first question asked to the president, and I posted a video on this. If you haven't seen it, I'll try to add a little tag to it in the top here. They had asked the president, what do you think of QAnon? And he said, well, if you call it pedophiles and cannibals that we're going after and that I'm, leading the charge, what would be so bad with that? And they said, well, what do you think about it? And he said, well, I don't know anything about it, but it started 4 years ago and it labels all these things. So the media is trying to work the president and his staff into a corner where they can say, we disavow QAnon. And then they hope that all the QAnon supporters, the people who've been reading the Q posts, will see that and go, oh, well, then I guess everything that we've seen proven out over the last 3.5 years is fake because of one media report. So it doesn't matter the 2,100 or the 21,000 results in the New York Times reports, including QAnon. Those didn't do the job. So now Fox is going after QAnon. You have Chris Wallace saying to Mark Meadows, hey, before I let you go, I've got 60 seconds. I've got to ask you, the president was asked about QAnon. He wouldn't disavow it. Will you? Can I twist something that you say into a disavowing of QAnon? Go ahead. Roll clip.
Great. The president was asked this week about QAnon, a conspiracy theory group that the FBI has called a domestic terror threat. The president said he was thankful for the support of people in QAnon, which led to this exchange.
Is this belief that
the belief that you are secretly saving the world from the satanic cult.
You are secretly saving the world from this satanic cult of pedophiles and cannibals.
Does that sound like something that you are behind?
Does that sound like something you
Watch his response.
Are
it's beautiful.
behind?
Well, I haven't heard that, but is that supposed to be a bad thing or a good thing?
Well, I haven't heard all of that. Well, that's just like an old man's way of saying, I'm not going to answer you directly, nor does he have to. But would that be such a bad thing if I was going after the cannibals? And by the way, if you're going after cannibals and pedophiles, that's like a crazy thing. He would be like, next question, if it were something crazy, right? You've heard him respond to crazy questions by just blowing them off. So that seems like a crazy question. Look at how dialed in. Look at how he's eagle locked into her.
You can end this controversy right now.
That's his goal, right? They told Chris, you need to get them right now to end the controversy of QAnon. You need to get him to disavow it. You need to get him right now on the spot. Go.
President disavow. Does he condemn QAnon?
And look at Mark Meadows. Look at him just going. Now he is trying so hard to recall what he was told in his meeting, which was if anyone brings up Q or QAnon, you simply say you're not responding to it.
Well, listen, we don't even know what it is. I can tell you, you've spent more time talking on it, Chris.
When he says we don't know what it is, do you think that is a psychological way of getting people at home to try to dig into it further, beyond what they know the fake news is telling them?
Than we have in the White House. I find it appalling that the media, when we have all of the important things that are going on, a list of top 20s, that the first question at a press briefing would be about QAnon, that I had to actually Google to figure out what it
is about QAnon and how stupid that would be, right? If it is so dumb that we have 20 other things that are more important than that, then shouldn't you be asking about them? And so he's kind of deflecting this question to Chris, and Chris Wallace is going to say, well, it's not my first question. Chris Wallace isn't listening to the answer. He already knows by the way that he started his answer that Mark is not going to respond in a way that is direct. So Chris is already trying to listen in his earpiece and think of another way to put him on the spot. So he's not listening to the answer when Mark says, at the press conference, this was the first question asked. And so Chris goes, this is not my first question to you.
It's not a central part of what the president is talking about. I don't know anything about it. I don't even know that it's credible. But I can't tell. No, Chris.
It's not my first question.
Well, I know. But it is your question that you're bringing it up, and it's ridiculous. If you want to talk about conspiracy, let's get back to talking about how the FBI and others within the FBI spied on the Trump campaign. I'll be glad to speak about that.
I got 30 seconds here.
Yeah.
A minute ago, he said he had 60 seconds. He didn't get the answer he wants, so hey, I got you yield me another 30 seconds of airtime. I'm going to try to get Mark Meadows on this QAnon thing.
But the point is, it's a hate group. It's a group that is called by the F.
So he has him because Mark made the mistake of saying we don't know what it is. So now Chris can tell him, well, I will identify what it is for you. That way you have to disavow it. That's what's happening now. Mark said, well, we don't know what it is, but if you want to talk about conspiracies, let's talk about the real ones. And he goes talk about Biden and Obama. Chris then says, well, I can tell you what it is, and then I'll make you disavow it. So he's telling him it's a hate group.
FBI, a domestic,
Listen,
the
if
FBI,
it's a hate
a domestic
group,
terror
I can tell you
threat.
that this president is not for hate. So I can tell you that if it's a hate group that is there, let's look at domestic terrorism and look at Antifa and a number of other areas and quit spending.
Now, just hearing that, do you think that Chris Wallace won this exchange? Do you think that he got what he wanted? Because he will parade this. He's going to give him a big pat on the back. And he's going to do a couple of these. And he's going, oh, good boy, Chris. This is what Chris Wallace is about to do for himself. Watch.
Time on something that 81% of Republicans don't even know what you're talking about.
I think, just to add, the only reason that people keep asking is because we didn't get an answer like you did just now. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Congressman.
Well, I'll be glad to give you an answer. I'll be glad to give you an answer with it, Chris. Here's what we have to do is, I don't see it as a legitimate thing that we have to address, and so we're not.
That's it.
Going to address it. We're going to.
It's not a legitimate thing that you're going to address right now, so you're not going to address it. If that was the order that Mark was given, if he was like, hey, no matter what, your job depends on you not responding to anything QAnon related, do not address it. And so then he gets out here and says, it's not even important, we're not going to address it. Meanwhile, Chris Wallace, that face is not the face you make when you feel like you've won. But he's like, well, people just keep asking because you won't give us the answer that you did just now. So thank you. I finally pulled the answer out of you that they're a hate group because I put those words in your mouth and said, do you disavow hate? And yeah, of course we disavow hate. All right, well, QAnon's a hate group, so do you disavow them? Well, I guess now I do. Well, there you go. That's what it was. So there's Mark Meadows responding to QAnon questions from Chris Wallace. I mean, even Fox. We knew at the end things would get a little crazy, but things are getting crazier than we expected. So stay tuned, like the video, leave your comments below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can stay in touch and keep America afloat.